Ladies and gentle people, and especially little 4% ladies.
Dutch Bushcraft knives here. And a lot of people ask us, why do you guys use a knife if you can use an axe? Well, in this video we're gonna show you. This video will be batonning, cutting, crafting, firemaking, cinco de la mañana.
I would really like to apologize in advance for my very poor axe skills. But after all, we're called Dutch Bushcraft knives, yeah? Not axe. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the first test will be the chopping test, which I have a slight feeling which will win, the axe or the knife. But this tree is about 20 centimeters in diameter, and I'll be chopping it with my Gränsfors Small Forest Axe. And we go! We're not gonna do a tree as thick as this with a knife.
No, no, no.
Unbelievable. Okay, it can't be a knife. This job with an axe is just, in Dutch we would say,
pooping without force.
Alright people, the Fallkniven A1 Pro. Let's go! Okay, so about twice as long as the axe.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a bit thinner.
I think this is probably about 15 centimeters in diameter, whereas the one with the axe is 20 centimeters in diameter.
Alright, a big knife, pretty easy for this job, not as good as the axe. Alright, now that we have cut down the trees, it's time to split the wood. This is where it gets interesting.
Gränsfors Small Forest Axe. Gränsfors Small Forest Axe. Gränsfors Small Forest Axe. Gränsfors Small Forest
Axe. Pooping without force.
So, this is the big difference between an axe and a knife. A knife can't baton a thick piece. This is almost a log. Yeah, I would build my house out of this. And an axe is capable of splitting something like this.
It is snowing.
Martin?
Yes, Mickey B, my friend.
I just wanted to say, you can really notice that the wood is frozen.
Yeah, you can really can.
Keep on going. Yeah.
No problem at all for the A1 Pro. Alright, so for wood splitting, the axe is definitely a winner over a bigger blade, but there still is a reason why I prefer a big knife over an axe for this small wood splitting, because when it's getting dark and when you're near the campfire with a lot of people, I think it's just way more controlled to use a knife for batonning than swinging an axe in the dark around other people.
And now it's time for the fire making test.
Alright, before we can make a fire we need some feather sticks, so let's make one. Ah, lovely feather sticking.
Yeah. Both of these tools were able to shave before this video. Martha, actually this isn't, I mean, it's not a dream feather sticker, but considering it's an axe,
Yeah.
it really acts well. I am funny, man.
Alright, so feather sticking, definitely the knife takes the victory, definitely.
Of course.
Yeah. And one very important thing that you can do with a knife and can't do with an axe is scrape a fire steel. Crafting! People, I'm very sad boy. My A1 Pro, again, the finger guard came loose. La cucaracha, la cucaracha, la 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 la, la cucaracha, la cucaracha. I have contacted Fallkniven about this issue and they told me they now weld the finger guard to the blade. So this problem shouldn't be existing anymore.
Gentle people.
Gentle folks.
Oh.
So for the carving, as expected, the knife is a definite winner for the carving test. But yeah, overall, Mickey,
For building,
yeah,
it's this bad boy.
Crafting, building. Okay, but so why exactly do we use knives instead of an axe?
You know,
Mostly.
Okay, look. As you can tell of the name of our channel, we like knives, yeah? So we like to have one tool that can do everything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily say that that one tool is the best at everything. And today we have definitely seen, of course, that with chopping and building and with the harder work, you can see that the axe really outperforms the knife.
Yeah, it really
but
shines.
We really like, I don't even know what your question was, but we really like just the fact that you have one tool on your belt that you can, when needed, do everything with.
And that is something that I have with an axe. It really is a giant tool to have on your belt.
Yeah.
But a knife, you can't really notice the presence of the knife on your belt.
Yeah. I really hope we have answered your question. Why use a knife if you can also use an axe? Because you always can carry a knife with you, and that isn't the case with an axe. But if you have the chance, carry both. Yeah. One love, peace, unity, God bless, Rastafari. This was the episode of Dutch Bushcraft Knives. I hope you liked it. And if you liked it, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. 2,000 thumbs up. Bye bye. Zit mijn haar echt goed?
Ja. Met mij.
Ja, maar zit mijn haar echt goed of zeg je het gewoon zo?
Nee, het is goed man, jezus man.
Jezus.
Ik doe niks mijn best voor als je het niet weet.
Nee, dat is het hele waarom we floppen. Ja, zie ik er goed uit dan?
Ja.